Today we have another relationship scandal story. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as we build this community. Michelle Obama famously said, "When they go low, we go high." I have always held that high morality ground as a commissioned officer of the United States Army, but I refused to be that gracious when it came to my personal marital situation. My wife has become a pain in my heart whenever I think about how bad things has gotten and my petty revenge. I carried out the retribution that was necessary, but I'm also not proud of what I did. I am 39 years old this year and it has been one of the most challenging years of my life after 2020 pandemic COVID year. I met my wife 3 years ago when she had just moved out of her small hometown and moved to Texas. I had just gotten out of the military after 7 years of duty and 2 tours under my belt. To be honest, becoming a normal civilian wasn't easy after my combat experiences, but I will save the details on that. My wife was much younger at the age of 25, but we met at a local bar. One of the nights I was drinking away my loneliness. She was by herself also and I managed to walk up to her to strike a conversation. She seems cool, and we hit it off well. She was making me feel normal again and I was loving her presence and being around her more and more every day. Okay, so after a few months we had been together, I found out that my wife used to have a bad drug use issue in the past and she told me being around me had helped her kick the bad habit. It seemed we both helped each other fill a void in our lives and this further intensified our love and relationship began to grow even more. I proposed to her, and she agreed. Shortly after, we got married. My wife told me she had always wanted to join the military and went ahead with enlistment into the Navy shortly after our marriage. I wasn't the biggest fan of the idea as I thought my military experience was in the past. I decided not to persuade her against it but supported her decision as a good husband. Now, before she joined the military however, things had become rocky in our marriage. I tried to think in my head and pinpoint exactly where things went wrong but I simply couldn't place it. When I tried to talk to her, she would tell me things are fine but admitted our love seems to be fading. I don't want my wife falling out of love with me, so I cranked up our time activities spent together. I would make sure every Friday night at dinner and watch a movie afterwards. I started running with her every Saturday morning, as she was raising her fitness and endurance to join the Navy. I would even go grocery shopping with her and every chance I get, I spent with her. At some point, she started to say I was overbearing and pushing myself onto her wasn't helping. I was making these efforts, but it seemed to be futile. I tried to reconnect with her through the things we enjoyed doing together before we got married. She won't even sleep on the same bed with me anymore after our first year of marriage. Things was weird out of nowhere, or maybe if I were to take some accountability, I was blinded to my wife losing love interest in me till it was too late. I simply thought everything was alright between us and couldn't read the signs early enough. After her first deployment what was getting worse became even worse. I can't lean in to kiss my wife any longer because she would cringe and tell me no. Lovemaking was non-existent at this point and she would tell me I reminded her of the time she had a bad forceful sex encounter. No husband likes to hear these types of comment from his wife. I didn't deserve this, and it was not fair I had to go through any of this. I would understand if I had offended her, so that I could apologize, but she wouldn't open to me. I wasn't diagnosed but I'm sure I went into depression and felt even lonelier than I was when I met her. My mental stress level was off the chart, but I tried to hang in there, hoping my wife would come around. She went for her second deployment and when she came home this time, she told me she wanted to divorce. My heart sunk after I heard this, honestly. It felt like someone had taken a sledgehammer and landed multiple blows to my heart. It felt like it was about to explode. I told her I thought we were working on our issues. I told her I didn't even know we had issues, or what our issues was in the first place, and that's when she laid it on me that she was having an affair. This was the nail in the coffin for me. I asked her how long this has been going on and she truthfully confessed it has been about 6 months into our marriage. At this point I was now getting furious at myself because I should have known. I wept like a baby that day even though I was raging. All I kept asking was why? 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 I had gone years thinking I did something wrong and tried everything to make things right. She could have spared me the emotional heartache. What was the point of telling me she cheated on me anyway? I wanted to know details about who her secret lover was, and she told me it was a Navy guy she had been seeing around the same time she got engaged to me. Apparently, she developed a thing for men in uniform after she met me and wanted to know more about that lifestyle. battle stories and overall experiences. When I wasn't too forthcoming with my stories because of my battle scars, she found someone who was willing to share with her and they fell in love along the way. Her secret lover even encouraged her to join service when she did. The chronological timeline of the whole thing was so baffling to me that I just accepted that I've been a fool in love. She told me she was sorry and that I could start seeing someone else. All I got as remorse was sorry. The last couple years of my life with her came down to one word: sorry. Well, sorry Michelle Obama, but when they go low, in this case, it's time I go lower. I started to plot how to get back at her. First, I told her before I signed the divorce papers, we must see a marriage counselor. Whatever plan she has to go running back to her side lover has to wait because I wasn't ready to sign, out of pure spite. She desperately wanted me to sign as if her lover had given her an ultimatum to break up with me. I became equally disengaged and even started to bring women home into our marital bed. I had arranged with these women and told them that I had a roommate staying with me and not to worry when they see her. When we entered the house, I would tell the girls that my wife was the roommate I told them about. They would say hi and addressed her as roommate, and we would just go into my matrimonial bed with the door shut. I dared her to bring her lover into the house I was paying the mortgage on and see what happens. I stopped caring about her, and to my surprise, when I stopped giving her attention, she started to try to initiate engagements and conversations with me. I simply ignored her and respectively made life hell for her. She told me we should separate before we finalize the divorce, and I would simply tell her she should feel free to get the heck out of my house and I wasn't leaving to no hotel. I don't know why, but she wouldn't move out either. She booked the counseling sessions and told me we can go like I wanted, and I would always give her reasons why I couldn't make it. My irresponsible actions were now starting to get to her and started heavy drinking and eventually went back to her past days of drug use. I took my pettiness to the extreme when I called her command and police to report her for drug use. I had been working with Naval Criminal Investigative Services (NCIS) to build a case against her, recording her videos and collecting evidence. She got kicked out of the Navy shortly after getting her promotion and was about to re-enlist to get a huge bonus. She won't be able to use her GI Bill and it would be hard for her to get a decent job. Her rise to fame and grace became shame and disgrace and even lost some of her friends along the way. I came home one evening, went straight to her closet and signed her divorce papers where I had kept them. I'm still not satisfied because I don't think she went through half the emotional hell I went through, but this would suffice for now. Whoever said two wrongs don't make a right has never met an emotionally wrecked man. Relationship Scandal viewers, please share your thoughts on this submitted story in the comment section and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for updates.